So how many of you have tried to make dashboards and then have been frustrated by how they looked in some way, right? Well, I've spent the past 5 years grappling with lots and lots of dashboards. I counted, I have 338 of them in my ArcGIS Online account. And I thought, if I've learned a few things, maybe it would be good to share that with other people. So get ready. A few disclaimers. You may disagree with me, that's okay. Like your mileage may vary on this. You might know some of these, but hopefully a few things at least will be new for you. Some of these seem relatively trivial, but they can really add up if you use them together. And these are all tips about ArcGIS Dashboards, not dashboards that you can make with ArcGIS Experience Builder. If you know what that means, you're nodding. If not, you can talk with me later. It's okay that you don't know what that means. So I have 7 different sort of tips to go through, just suggestions. You can see the 1 head versus the 3 heads that get a little more difficult as they go along. But first one, which you should all be doing anyway all the time, is considering accessibility. Don't make a dashboard that looks like the one on the left. Why? Because people may not be able to see it. It might look good to you. It shouldn't. But please think about contrast ratios. There are ways you can look this up for text, for graphics, different combinations. If you use the built-in dashboard template, you don't have to worry about this, but if you build your own, or if you're setting your own colors, make sure that you're choosing appropriately. And notice if you're creating your own dashboard theme, then they have these little checkers that tell you whether or not you meet the standards. And every element, well, not every, but most elements have this area for accessibility. Put text in there that's descriptive, because if people are using screen readers to look at your dashboards, this is what they will see. Simple, but something to think about. Number 1, use load categories. Quick show of hands, do people ever use load categories? No, yes, only 1? Come on, here you go. This is why you want to use load categories. You don't want the one on the left, you want the one on the right. So why does it look like this? Because the text that I had were from workshop evaluation responses, and they were really long. So what you do is you click on this load category buttons, which is in tons of different elements, and then you can type in whatever you want to show on your graph. So I made them short, and also I strategically chose the yes and the no and a little color to try to show the thing I wanted to show. But that load categories lets you do things like, for example, translate and put them in different languages. So very, very useful, load categories. Create a mobile version. Don't do this, please. Please don't think a little bit, because if people are on mobile devices, a normal dashboard is not going to work. Fortunately, they have a built-in way to do this now. So my suggestion to people is you build your desktop dashboard, and then when you're largely done, make a mobile version. A couple of things to consider. Most importantly, though, your mobile version cannot and probably shouldn't try to do everything that the desktop version does. So think carefully about what you include. You do have to rebuild it using the tools, not too difficult, but it is a moment of reflection. And every now and then when I do this, it actually makes me go back and change my desktop dashboard, because I learned something by building the mobile version. Lead the eye with colors. I love colors. I do not like lines. You can see in my presentation. The default way a dashboard looks is on the left. Lots of lines and not a lot of color, right? On the right was the version that I built for my dashboard project. So a few things to know is that you can make those outlines around every element disappear simply by matching the outline color to the background color. And then those outlines will go away, which I do on every single dashboard that I build. But then you need to use color effectively, right? So the below and the bottom, I just change the background and the text so that that stands out. I also like to use, for indicators, I use a lot of color and icons. And I use the text, the indicator, the icon, all the same color, so that visually those things really cling together. And I love icons. Raise your hand if you use icons in dashboards. All right, more people, yes, icons. So, next tip, lead with icons. Make lists or things that are just text, be able to be visible, a little easier, scannable to people's eyes. Use them in category selectors. I discovered this at a conference, and I thought somebody was doing something sneaky and tricky. No, it's super easy to put icons in. And then, maybe my proudest moment ever with the orange squid In this part of this one dashboard, when you use tables in your dashboards, you can also have icons. So for category selectors, super simple. Just click on the icon button and pick an icon. Most of your time will be spent hunting the icon field, trying to pick the one you think works best or least worst for your category selector. This other one is a bit fancy. I went overboard. I used custom icons and I used some arcade, but again, it was very satisfying for me to see those and color them by the types of seafood. So it can be tricky, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It definitely helps people to understand your dashboards. Next two have 3 heads. That means that they're trickier. Render only when filtered. Raise your hand if you've used that before. Do not let your dashboards look like the one on the right. This is what happens if you don't do anything special, and if you do something a little bit special, it can look like the one on the right. What is render only when filtered? That's when elements talk to each other. You can check that box and say, don't show anything here until I do something here. And the default is to put that text. But in my quest to make dashboards clean and easy, use this down here, this no selection. Guess what you can do? Put whatever you want in there. You can put instructions. You can trick it by putting a period that's color is the same color as the background. And then it shows nothing. So this is what it looks like on the left before you click. This is what it looks like on the right after. And here's another one, which is this little report, and it just looks completely blank. Those are all filled with just a period that's the same color as the background. It's waiting for you to do something before it's displayed. This last one's the most powerful, and it allows you to stack elements, but what if you have a bunch of elements you want to change with only one tab? Stack them. Group them and then stack them. So when you're dragging elements, you see this little shift button. You can group them together. Then you can grab your groups and you can stack them. This will sink in later. So what if you had, 7 different elements you wanted to be able to switch back and forth between because you have this little section, you have 2 projects, group the elements, then stack them on top of another group. If you want to go super fancy, you can even make the whole dashboard be just a tab. So, last parting words, fail early and often. You're going to mess up. It's okay. Your first dashboard versions will look horrible. Show them to other people. Get feedback. Save as is your friend. Sometimes it's a little bit too much, my friend, because I keep trying over and over, but I will tell you if you're going to try things, save as, especially in the experiment mode, because if you don't like it, rolling it back to what it was before is very difficult. So part of my quest to try to help other people benefit from the failures that I've had is I've created this new webpage, which is up and live, although not done, where I talk a little bit about me, but I also am trying to lay out different tips and tricks and show people. There's only a few of them there now, but more coming soon, including some help videos. I also put my projects up there, and some of the tricks I use, you can choose a filter to see how they're used. And I'm interested to know what other people have to say, because part of me sharing this is hopefully people sharing back with me. So I'm here for quite a while in the conference, happy to talk for much longer than 10 minutes about dashboards.